So, it was my day off today, right? And that's why I'm dressed like this, but we've got something pretty exciting. This, what I have in my hand right now, is the new Tudor Pelagos FXD. Let's get into it. Okay, so full disclosure, I've actually not seen this yet. I saw it on Tudor official platforms and Instagram and all the rest of it. And of course, Drew called me and was like, get into the office. So let's have our first look. I love that blue. That's the first impressions. What I get is I love that navy blue dial. This release did take me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie. And that's why I ran into work so quickly, because I'm such a big fan of Tudor. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into the specs, because that's all I know about this watch at the moment. And then after the specs, we're gonna get some time on the wrist and actually see how it looks and feels on the wrist. A little detail that you may not have noticed is that FXD is actually an abbreviation of the word fixed. So the face of this model comes in at 42 millimeters in diameter, which is pretty perfect for my wrist. That's kind of the measurement that I go for personally. It has a 12.75 millimeters in thickness, which again, wears pretty comfortably, pretty nice under a shirt or with casual attire. And it has a 52 millimeter lug to lug. So the case is made entirely from one block of titanium, and this has a satin brushed finish. And the bars are actually fixed bars, and I've not seen this before in a watch, and personally, I really like it. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to change a strap and that little spring bar just pings out across the room. With this, that issue is no more. Now, a question you might be asking, and this is a question that I also was wondering, is why does the case have fixed strap bars? And this is to make it more robust and reliable when worn by military diving personnel. This Tudor Pelagos FXD model was actually developed in collaboration with a special unit of the French Navy to unique specifications. The Pelagos FXD model was designed for underwater navigation and is optimized for professional use. Being a diving watch for underwater use, it has a waterproofness of 200 meters, which is pretty impressive. It also sports sapphire crystal glass. Now, for those of you that don't know, sapphire crystal glass is extremely hard wearing and means you don't need to worry about general wear and tear over time. The dial that we have here is probably the bit that draws me the most to this model. It has a navy blue matte dial with the iconic Snowflake hands. Now, my previous two Tudor Blancpains actually have these Snowflake hands, and I'm so glad that Tudor have kept them in the range because, well, they're just iconic. Fun fact for you is that the Snowflake hands were actually introduced in 1969, and since then they've become a staple in the Tudor diving watch range. This piece also sports grade X1 Swiss Superluminova, which shines extremely bright in the dark from what I've seen. And the lume on this model is blue. And why is it blue? Well, this is because this is the last visible color underwater before you lose all light and would require a torch to see the watch. One part of this Tudor model that I absolutely love, and I've really never seen it before, is the bi-directional rotatable bezel. Now, it's made with a titanium ceramic insert and grade X1 Swiss Superluminova. And here, right, listen to these clicks. Is this not the most satisfying thing you've ever heard? Look at this. And it goes both ways. Look. So touching on that bezel quickly, why is it 120 click bi-directional bezel? Now, this is due to the fact that the divers who have specified the watch needs to quickly change course as they swim, and this makes it easier to alter the timing of each swim. It also has a 60-minute retrograde graduation for navigation by successive stages. If you would like to take a closer look at this model in particular, or any in the Tudor Pelagos range, make sure you check out chisholmhunter.co.uk. That's chisholmhunter.co.uk. Remember that we are official authorized retailers for Tudor watches, so any questions you have, drop them in the comments. Another nice little detail is the crown is actually made from titanium and it's adorned with the Tudor shield and it's slightly raised. It's nice to touch. It feels weird to say that, but I really like it. Now we get to the strap. It has a fabric strap with a self-gripping fastening system. The color is navy blue and it has a grey central thread running through it. In addition to this, they have a navy blue rubber strap with a woven motif and a titanium buckle included in the box.
Hi, so we're still filming.
Now? I was just, okay, sorry. So I've actually got the rubber in my left hand at the moment, and the fabric, of course, is on the Tudor. And for those of you that know me, you'll know that I have to go with the rubber. I just love rubber. I just can't help it. But I would love to know your thoughts. Would you go for the fabric, or would you be like me and go for the rubber? A little more on that rubber strap as well. It is my favorite. It's complementary, and a vital detail is that the center of the strap is made from fiberglass. Now, this enhances its durability. Another thing that did you make me this coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Tudor are making huge step forwards with the movements that they're creating, and this one's no different. It's the MT5602 movement. This is a self-winding mechanical movement with a bi-directional rotor system, and of course it gets above COSC certification, which is a huge achievement. Just to touch on this movement a little bit further, this in-house MT5602 caliber has been in some of the Tudor's models, such as the 41mm Blancpain Black and Burgundy, since 2016. It is overall 40% better than COSC certification, and it runs at -2 to +4 seconds per day, which is pretty impressive. When it comes to luxury watches on the market, it's pretty rare to find such a high power reserve of 70 hours for this price point, and that lives up to Tudor's mantra of giving the best possible product for the most accessible price. Now, one thing you might notice when you flip this watch around to the case back is that it has the Marine Nationale logo on the underbelly, and it also has MN21. Now, each year the number will change. So for example, next year it will be 2022, 23, 24, so on and so forth. But that does mean that 2021 pieces are extremely rare. So we have rattled through the specs, but now it is time to get this piece on the wrist, the bit that I've been most excited about, and see how it feels. Right, that is us just back from outside from getting some beautiful B-roll shots of this model. And the first impression is that it sits slightly thinner than my Blancpain models that I have at home. So my Blancpains come in at about 14.8 millimeters in thickness. So this is slightly smaller, but I still really like it. It sits just under my jumper really nicely, and I love that navy blue dial. I really like the fact that the titanium is so durable, and if you guys have ever seen the watch vlog, you'll know that we go out and about a lot in Scotland, so it really just fits my lifestyle. But the one thing that I love more than the dial color, more than the titanium, has to be the fixed bars. I've never seen this done before, and I think it really suits. I just think it makes it so much more solid and compact. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to join the Chisholm Hunter watch community, make sure you subscribe here. If you want to see more from Tudor watches, make sure you hit it here. And if you want to see the watch vlog where we take some watches to some pretty cool places, make sure you click here.